Hello everybody. Today I can partition a line segment using delta x over p and delta y over p and counting on the graph. This is a very commonly asked Common Core Regents question. They ask it in every single exam. We're going to spend 2 days on it, even though technically we only really need one, but it's so important that I want to practice it. So it's just following the procedure. Once you practice it a bunch of times, you're going to find that it's pretty simple. So let's just get right into the first example. What are the coordinates of the point on the directed line segment from K, -5, -4? So here is K, -5, -4, to L, 5, 1. Our first step is to find delta x over p and delta y over p. Now this is the same delta x and delta y that we used with distance and slope. So I'm going to count from one point to the other. Delta x is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And delta y is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now p is the number of partitions. So if I'm cutting it in a ratio of 3 to 2, that means that there are 5 total pieces. Basically, to find p, I'm adding the numbers in the ratio to find p. So 10 over 5 is 2, 5 over 5 is 1. That's not the answer to the question, that's the first step. Now that I have that, I'm going to count 2 in the x direction and 1 in the y direction. So from K, I'm going to go 2 in the x direction, 1 in the y direction, and make a point. 2 in the x direction, 1 in the y direction, make a point. 2 in the x, 1 in the y, make a point. 2 in the x, 1 in the y, make a point, and then I should end up at the other endpoint. Now I'm going to number them. I'm starting at k, and yes, it does matter which one I'm starting at. It has to tell you, it says from k to L, so I'm starting at k. So that means that k is 0. This is the first partition, second partition, third, fourth, and fifth. So which one is the answer? The answer is the first number in the ratio. So the first number in the ratio is 3. So that is your partition, that is your answer. The coordinates of that point are 1, comma, -1. Choice 4 is your answer. So let's kind of put the steps up for partitions. Step 1, we have to find delta x over p and delta y over p. For delta x and delta y, count. And for p, add the numbers in the ratio. Then we are going to count those numbers out on the graph. We are then going to number those points. And the first point is 0. You're not going to label 0, but the next point after that is going to be 1. And then the answer is the first number in the ratio. So, if you want to take a screenshot or whatever of that, a little cut off, but I think it's good. So let's just talk our way through this one question we just did one more time, and then we'll try the next one. So again, what did we do here? Let's get a different color. I started with delta x and delta y over p. To get delta x and delta y, I counted from one point to the other. That was 10. That was 5. That's where the 10 and the 5 come from. P is the total number of partitions. I'm adding together the numbers in the ratio. That's where the 5 came from. 10 over 5 is 2. 5 over 5 is 1. I then counted 2 in the x, 1 in the y, and I kept on doing that to come up with these points. I then number them. It says I'm starting at k, so k is 0, and then I label the rest of them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the answer is the first number that's written in the ratio, in this case 3. From there, I state the coordinates of that point, which is 1, negative 1. Okay, let's try another example. Number 2. Directed line segment PT has endpoints P, negative 2, 1, T, 4, 7. It wants me to divide it in a ratio of 2 to 1. So whenever you see that it wants to take a line segment and cut it into a ratio or partition it, that's when we start with delta x over P and delta y over P. To find delta x and delta y, we count. You, on your own right now, find delta x and delta y. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Delta x and delta y are both p in this example. Now, p is the total number of partitions. We're looking at the ratio, and we're adding those pieces together. If there's 2 on one side and 1 on the other side, there's a total of 3 partitions. 6 over 3 is 2. 6 over 3 is 2. So I'm going to count 2 in the x direction and 2 in the y direction. 1, 2, 1, 2, and make a point. 1, 2, 1, 2, make a point. 1, 2, 1, 2, make a point. Directed line segment PT. That means we're starting at P. So P is 0. This is 1, 2, 3. So which point is the answer? Well, the answer to that is whichever number is written first in the ratio. 2 is written first. The coordinates of that point are positive 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 5 is your answer. Once you get the hang of this, it's real simple. It's just following a procedure, but it definitely will take you a few examples until you get comfortable with it. Let's take a look at number 3. A is negative 6, negative 5. B is 4, 0. I'm going to have you do the first step. I'm going to have you do delta x and delta y over P to get those values that you're going to count with. So I'm just going to sit here. I'm not going to pause it. I'm not going to ask you to pause it. Just take about 30 seconds or so and find delta x over P and delta y over P. All right. Delta x is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Delta y is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. P is the total number of partitions. Since it's in a ratio of 2 to 3, the P value would be 5. 10 over 5 is 2. 5 over 5 is 1. Now I'm going to go to my graph and I'm going to count 2 in the x direction and 1 in the y direction. So I'm going to give you about 20 seconds right now to do that on your own. Starting at A, since it says AB, A is first, we're going to start at A, count 2 in the x, 1 in the y, make a point, and keep on going until you get to B. Take about 20 seconds to try that on your own. Okay. 1, 2 in the x, 1 in the y, point. 1, 2 in the x, 1 in the y, point. 1, 2, 1. I don't know why that one got all crazy. 1, 2, 1, and you will end up at the other one. Next, I want you to number the points. We're starting at A, so A is 0. So label 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll give you about 8 seconds to try that. All right, your 8 seconds are up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not much to worry about on that one. And now the answer. I want you to take about 15 seconds and decide which one you think the answer is. And as a hint, it has to do with this, with the ratio. The answer is the first number in the ratio, which in this case is 2. The coordinates of that point are -2, -3, and that's your answer. So again, delta x and delta y over p. To find delta x and delta y, I'm counting. P is the total number of partitions. I'm adding the ratio together. That gave me 2 and 1. I counted 2 and 1 to get to these points. I number them because I'm starting at A. A is 0. The first one is 1, then 2, and 3, then 4, all the way up to whatever P is. And then whatever number comes first in the ratio is the number that you circle. The more you do, the more comfortable you're going to be with them. So let's try number 6. I want you to try this completely on your own. So please pause, try number 6 on your own, and then unpause. Okay, now that you tried number 6 on your own, I will go over it. I is -7, 8, 2, 4, 6, 7, 2, 4, 6, 8. Q is -1, -4. And we want to determine the coordinates of point J that divides it in a ratio of 1 to 5. Whenever I want to cut a line segment in a ratio, that's delta x and delta y over p. Delta x, I'm counting the x. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh, I plotted Q wrong. My mistake. Let's do that again. Like something didn't seem right there. Q is -1, -4. I think I plotted -2, -4. All right, so let's try that again. Delta x, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I've got 6 for delta x, 12 for delta y. The ratio is 1 to 5, so that means that P is going to be 6. 6 over 6 is 1, 12 over 6 is 2. That's the first step. Now that I have that, let's go to a different color. Let's go red. 1 and 2, so I'm going to go 1 in the x direction, 2 in the y, make a point. 1 in the x, 2 in the y, 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 1 in the x, 2 in the y. Which point am I starting with? I am starting with, since it's IQ, I'm starting with I. That little red dot's kind of bothering me. I'm starting with I, since I comes first, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And whatever number in the ratio is written first is the one that I want. And the coordinates of that point are -1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. -6, 6 is point J. So, again, for partitions, I call them partitions. I can partition a line segment using delta x over p and delta y over p and counting on the graph. Again, the notes are here. We're finding delta x over p and delta y over p. Delta x and delta y we're counting. P, we're adding the numbers in the ratio. We are then counting those numbers out on the graph, whatever we got in that first part. We're numbering the points. The first point is 0. And then the answer is the first number that's written in the ratio. Your classwork/homework is to finish partitions. We're going to practice it more tomorrow. Not that we need it, but it's so important that I want to give us some extra time to practice it extra to make sure that we can get this right over and over again. I hope everyone has a productive day, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.